And, obviously that's the thing, just because I got a sick whip. And luckily for, being a gay man in America, having a fast whip with a decent engine isn't a bad thing. Especially, when one tends to find themselves in a state of, persecution. It's really nice to have a really fast engine. I'll give it that. And she does roar. I'll give you that. I will say, though, that obviously it's important to have a growth mindset. It really is. Another thing, too, is obviously that, this is a really, interesting Argent per, story of hope, story of, overcoming. And obviously there's a lot of very different, silver minerals. There's, what's the word? Anabergite is one that is obviously seen very commonly with rare specimens from Silver Islet, which is a very rare, locale for native silver up near Thunder Bay. There used to be a very old mine in the 1800s called Silver Islet, and they sunk a shaft on this little small rock island. All these North Shore people gotta know what I'm talking about. Up by like Grand Marais, there's 5 Mile Rock. It's a rock that you could maybe fit a city bus on it. It's obviously bigger than it looks. You can probably fit a, two length, bungee, bendy city bus on something like that when you get out there. But it's not something you could build a house or infrastructure, perhaps a small, like guide light, not a lighthouse, but it's a guide light. It's not big enough to have any permanent stuff on. Silver Islet was like that. It was, obviously a vein that sunk beneath the lake and was, protruding at that point. They built, obviously, structure around it. They brought in driftwood, gravel, everything to make it into a bigger island, say from the size of what I'm talking about, a little city bus or two, up to maybe an acre or so, just enough to have barracks for the men, mess hall and the shaft and places to, load and crush and ship the ore out to be refined. Anabergite and a cathite, but what they're really known for is beautiful pieces of wire silver there. Phenomenal. I mean, I've always wanted to buy one. They're very expensive. It's like something you don't see. You have to go, not many American museums have them. There's one in the Museum of Natural History in Toronto. A specimen like that would probably set you back as much as, my whip, which would be a good evasive, method to keep homophobes away. And, one often ponders the idea of Silver Islet is still a little dinky town. Very small, almost like Grand Portage. You've got a little mercantile, maybe a small little mom and pop cafe that's only open during the tourist season, just enough that, the locals, if they need something, they're not going to drive all the way around Sleeping Giant into Thunder Bay or Nipigon, Ontario. They just have what they need. So that would be interesting to go to that town and see what you can try to see if the locals have any of that stuff. But now I'm just worried about all this. Yeah, it's on, and my whip may be somewhat of jealousy, but I don't care. It's about what's right and wrong here, and this isn't right. I wasn't right, but this is really wrong.